Michael from myrod.com. Did you know what the definition of hot rod is? I looked it up, Merriam-Webster's dictionary, and in that dictionary it says, a hot rod is a vehicle that's been modified to go fast and accelerate quickly. I have a proper hot rod right here. I know it doesn't look like a hot rod. It's a 240Z, but it is a very proper hot rod. Now, I've been watching these YouTube videos of all these Frankenstein 240Zs built by these young guns. They've made some killer hot rods out there. Pretty interesting builds. L series, RBs, VQs, LSs. Sounds like millennial alphabet soup, but they're having fun out there. Keep it up, young guns. That's really cool. Now, this hot rod had a different goal than the hot rods the young guys are building. The goal of this hot rod was to retain the beautiful lines and body of the 240Z. Don't touch it. It's gorgeous. Keep it just the way it is. Look at it. Make no mistake, even though it's glamorous, this is a very proper hot rod. Now, it's built more on the order of the Scarabs. Do you know what a Scarab is? It's a really cool 350 V8 powered car built by Brian Morrow back in the late 70s, early 80s out in California. He was already famous for building these Scarab racing boats. Well, he took the 350, he put it in 240Zs, and he made some really proper hot rods. This 350Z build has a lot of advantages over the earlier Scarabs. It simply incorporates technology that didn't exist back in the day. It's got a 6-speed T56 transmission, Tremec, that gives a lot more range, lets you get more power at different gears throughout the range. It also has EFI, electronic fuel injection, another huge advantage. And then it incorporates some other components that weren't available to the Scarabs, and that's some heavier duty Z components that came out in the 300ZX cars. So all of this is incorporated into the build of this hot rod to make a very cohesive, well thought out build. So I should mention that the beefier 300ZX parts went into this car so it could handle the 411 foot-pounds of torque being put out by that 350. They're just necessary. Now, at the end of this video, we'll give you a list of the critical components that went into this build to modify the DNA of this super cool 240Z. What you're going to find is you've got American hot rod components going into a Japanese sports car. Maybe we should call it a sport rod instead of a hot rod. No? Okay. All right, well then let's fire it up and listen to the rumble of this bad to the bone hot rod 240Z, and then let's go on a test drive. I know you're waiting for it. All right, here we go. Okay, here's the starting process. We let the EFI system prime. It's what it's doing now. Okay, it's primed. I love this monitor. That's EFI starts for you right there. Super cool. That sounds so good. All right, I'm gonna go outside and listen to it. That's why we call it the Z-Beast. Let's go on a test ride. Okay, let's go drive some twisties. got good grip. She goes into those turns really nice. You know, third gear is so torquey, you can stay in third gear the whole time, or you can just pick your gear, pick your rev, pick your speed. Yeah, that's cool. This car on a track would be amazing, or really any wonderful windy road. It's great on the highway too, but wow, that's cool. You can't do that in every 240Z. They just don't have the torque this torque monster does. Fun level just goes way up. This is third gear. It's so much fun to have 6 gears. You pick your gear, pick your rev, and stay in that rev. Lots of fun. I'm back here on these twisties, which they're pretty low mile per hour roads, which is fine. Still fun in the turns. Nice turns. Here's a nice one right here. You know, this car is fast. It will go fast, but the cool thing about a vintage 240Z, even when properly set up, it feels fast without going extremely fast, and I love that. You know, you take some of the modern plastic supercars, and you've got to go at a very dangerous level of speed to feel fast, to feel the speed. Not my thing. I mean, it's bragging rights, I'm sure. But give me the torque and let me feel it all the whole time. That's what I love. Third gear's got so much torque, you don't have to get out of it. That's a lot of fun. The steering's a little heavy from a dead stop on a 90, but get going, it's fine. This is going to be a heavy traffic run going back. But, you know, the car is capable of just everyday commuting, so it doesn't have a problem in traffic. It doesn't get hot, no bad habits. You just drive it. Still sounds good. You know, third and fourth gear pulls in this thing are a real hoot. And by fifth gear, and you're up there in pretty good speed. We need to hit fifth gear back here. And then throw it in a overdrive, 6 gear, free to move about the country. You got an ultimate highway gear, and you can just go. Just let this motor drop down to probably something over double idle and just cruise. Pretty cool. There's a lot of advantages to electronic fuel injection, starting with, you know, it self-tunes. It's constantly self-tuning, learning, and it supports a lot of horsepower. And this car's got some horsepower. And of course it eliminates cold start issues and hesitations that you'd get with a normal carburetor. It completely eliminates vapor lock and flooding, those type things. And it's got a built-in internal fuel regulator. So yeah, that's the modern way to feed your motor. EFI, electronic fuel injection. It's nice. Costs a little bit of money, but it's worth it. You know, you just, for the everyday reliability, it's just worth it. And then of course you give it the gearing with the overdrive transmission, 6-speed, like this Tremec T56 in here. You know, you've got all this range of flexibility, which my original 240Zs don't have. They all have their original 4 speeds in there. Still great cars. And back in the day, everybody said that's what you got. But you know, with the modern updates that are available to Restomod these things with, you can change these cars dramatically in terms of range and flexibility and enjoyability. They're just fun. They're fun cars. You know, I'm only going about half or 3/4 accelerator in this. It's not a good place to open up a car with so much power, so I don't. But it's got more power. In fact, the limitations on this car exceed my limitations as a driver. I don't have a problem admitting that. I don't know where they're at. I'm not going to find out. It's fun for me the way I drive it, and that is well below its limitations. Just feeling the torque, enjoying the tightness of this body, and the responsiveness of the suspension and steering. I love that. That's what makes me happy. Okay, so I just pulled up next to Tyler here, who's driving my dad's 92 GMC he bought new, and Tyler's going to take temperature readings. We run it pretty good back there. Doesn't run hot at all. No bad habits. 187 on the water pump. 209 on the head. That ain't bad. 143 on the valve cover. What's the radiator reading? 110 on the radiator. She runs cool. That means you can get out and enjoy this car. This is what we use. Of course, you probably saw it. We'll get it on the other camera. You can get out and enjoy this car. It's not going to get hot and leave you stranded. And that's cool. I love that. Okay, so we saw how nice the car did in the twisties. Let's get up and do some straight line driving on this interstate. Woo. Of course, it has no problem getting to interstate speed and beyond. So this is 4th gear. That's 90. And I just jettisoned beyond everybody. Now I've got 5th gear, and it's lovely. It's just walking down the road. Let's drop it 6th gear. Okay, so here we are. We've settled down at 70 miles per hour. We passed the folks we needed to pass to get out of everybody's way. Boy, did it do that easy. So we're at 70, and she's running 2,000 RPM. This car loves the interstate. You could take any length of trip, and it'll just be a relaxing cruise. This motor is just lumbering at 2,000 RPM. Pretty impressive. Okay, so I'm back in the school zone, elementary school or junior high or something over here to my left, and neighbors' houses everywhere around me, and I'm going 20 miles per hour. And in fact, that's what the speed limit is. That guy just passed me. So, you know, this will cruise very gentlemanlike in a neighborhood. It's just part of the two personalities of this car. One side is, you know, a usable everyday driver, and the other side is an all-out street fighter, or back road rambler, or highway cross-country traveler. I mean, the car has so much range with this power and with this transmission that it's a new and unique experience that goes beyond what most 240Zs would offer. And so, you know, it's understandable why people choose to modify their 240Zs to have more range. I like the 240Z in bone stock configuration, I do, but, you know, I admit that this car will do quite a bit more than a bone stock 240Z will do. It doesn't take away from my love and appreciation for a stock car, but I get it when it comes to modifying these cars. So much fun. Okay, that's it for the test drive. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a great time. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the stuff. Check out myrod.com. Come back and see what my son and I are doing with these super cool cars. Adios.